What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Wayne, the Thrift Nerd, coming at you with another video. So, you sold a VCR. Good for you. But you're like, how the hell do I ship this thing? What a coincidence, I also sold a VCR, and I'm going to walk you through the process in my studio, step by step. So please watch this video all the way through. It's going to be a long one, but I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about shipping VCRs. Okay, you guys, I am going to start off by showing you the VCR that I plan to ship. This is a big dogger. This VCR is a little larger than most of the ones I pick up. It's a combo player, that's why you can see it has the DVD player and the VCR. I have cleaned it up. It has already sold to a happy buyer. It was, they made a best offer at $65 and I got this for 10 bucks, so really good sale. But the important thing is, VCRs, you gotta ship them out very cautiously and make sure that they are protected so they don't get damaged on the way to your buyer. When you are selling electronics, especially something like this that can be kind of delicate when it's, you know, in transit to the buyer, you got to make sure you do it right, which is why I wanted to make this video for you guys. I have this just kind of loosely taped with my packing tape right now. I would recommend actually if you had some zip ties or rubber bands to put this together. This is kind of all I had. So this is better than nothing. So I'm going to do the same thing for this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of like press this down and make this kind of a shape here, like so. And I am going to just put this together like this. So bam, this is how that ends up looking. Doesn't look terrible, but yeah, up to you. You don't really have to do that, but I do recommend it. It's going to be a lot easier when it comes to packing this up. So let me get this out of the way for now. There are a couple of things you guys are going to need. Obviously, the first thing you're going to need is a roll of packing tape, which is what I have here. Sorry, it's kind of grimy, but whatever. I've had this for a long time. You're definitely going to need this. You are also going to need a scale, which you can see I have right here. This is a nice digital scale. I got this on Amazon for like $40 like 2 years ago. This scale's been great, and it actually just plugs right into the wall. It just has a little charger. And you also need a nice workspace like I have here. This is just one of those like fold out card tables. This is what I use in my studio. So in addition to that, bubble wrap. You can see this is a brand new roll of bubble wrap. I haven't cracked this guy open yet. You see I buy it 200 feet at a time. I go through one of these every couple of months, you guys. It's how much bubble wrap I use for my electronics and whatnot. They're relatively cheap. I actually found this one, I believe I bought this at Office Depot. It was on sale for like, what's that, like $16 or something like that? So, pretty good deal for this. This is a lifesaver. If you can get bubble wrap that has the larger bubbles, bigger than these, that's even better. And then the last thing you're gonna need is a box. Now, there's a lot of packing materials in this box here. We're gonna go through and use that. When I take these out though, you will see that actually this box is much larger than what I need for my VCR. Unfortunately, I don't have a box that's like the perfect size. However, if you have a box that is larger than your VCR, you're made in the shade. One thing that's important is when you're looking at this box, you do not want your VCR to be really snug against the walls initially, because we're gonna wrap the shit out of this VCR in bubble wrap. And if your VCR with nothing on it is too snug to start with, then it's not going to actually fit in here when you go to actually put the final wrapped product in there. The other thing is this box is really tall compared to my VCR, as you can see here. It's almost twice the height. That is also not ideal, you guys. I shipped out a bunch of stuff that used all my good boxes, and then this VCR sold after that. So we're kind of just doing this on the fly, but I will show you how to cut this down so you can still use a larger box if you're in a pinch. I offer next day shipping on all my items, so I don't have time to go out and get another box for this. I should have more boxes coming, but for now, it is what it is, you guys. So the very first thing we're gonna do, we are gonna bubble wrap the VCR. Okay, you guys, so for now, I'm gonna tuck this, which is connected behind here, and I'm just gonna kind of keep this out of the way for now. This is not the only way to go about doing this. This is just the way that I do it, and I've had success doing this. First thing you wanna do is you want to wrap this. You want the bubble side facing the electronic here, because that's gonna protect it the best. And you wanna make sure that when you tear off the perforation, you have enough material so that it actually wraps all the way around and overlaps itself like this. You want to leave some extra room here that's gonna hang off, because we're gonna basically Santa Claus this thing and fold it down and tape it. This is a little too much, so let me just move this right about here. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold this down. I'm gonna keep this pressed flat against the back like so. I'm gonna do that here, and then I'm gonna tape it right on this seam. Okay, this is kind of like the first layer, and it doesn't have to be super tight, you guys. You can leave it a little bit loose, because we're gonna be wrapping other layers around this. So tear off some pieces of tape. What I do is I push the sides in, I fold this down, and then I fold these up, kind of like wrapping Christmas gifts, you guys. And then I'm gonna take my pre-ready pieces of tape over here, and I'm just gonna seal that like so, right? So that's the first layer. Now I'm going to flip it around and do the same thing to the other side. Okay, you guys, so I wrapped it the same as I did on the other side that I showed you. When we look at it here, this is taped here, so it's nice and sealed, and you got the edges have a little extra padding. Same thing on the other side. This is how we did it. This side actually is a little bit better because there's a little bit extra here. I should have left a little bit more overhang on the other side, but that's okay. So this is the initial packing. Now, if you look at the back, I have the cord just wrapped up and as flat as I can have it in here. And then I'm gonna put a piece of tape down the middle just to seal this like loose flap where the two pieces overlap each other. Now, what I will tell you is that this is not enough, you guys. We need a whole nother layer of protection before we even think about putting this in the box. Again, with shipping electronics, the more cautious you are, the better, because this is a really nasty return if somebody gets it and it's damaged, okay? So the next roll that I'm gonna do, the next like sheet of tape, or bubble wrap I mean, that I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna go around this way and wrap around the long side of this and give it some extra cushion, okay? When you're rolling these, you guys, don't make it super tight. Make it loose and kind of cushy. That's what you want. You don't want it to be super tight and taut to where it's kind of squeezing this in. You want just a nice padded protective layer. We're gonna tape it here on the bottom. Now this is starting to look really nice. However, I like to be extra cautious The number one thing that's going to get damaged on these VCRs, you guys, is the corners. And if it drops on one of these corners, it's going to jar everything inside here. So the corners need to be really well protected, both when you initially wrap it and also when it's in the box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put another strip of bubble wrap going this way. You can see that around here to protect the corner. I'm going to do it on this side and the other side. That's what that side looks like when it's done as well. Now, you can see here, this is a little bit loose right here where this flap's open. I am going to go ahead and tape down these little loose sections. I just think it looks nicer. Presentation is really important, you guys. It's not a necessary step, but I like to take, the extra couple minutes to make it look as nice as I can for my buyer. Also, you guys, I am noticing that this is a little bit thin here and it's right where a lot of the buttons and stuff are. So I'm going to take an extra piece of bubble wrap and go right around here. And that's going to be the last bit of bubble wrap I'm going to apply to this thing. So there you guys go. This is a securely wrapped VCR. The corners are protected. The bubble wrap covers the entirety of the item, and I even put an extra little sheet right here just where all the doodads are, so I feel pretty good about this going into the box. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to move this off the table. We're going to put the box up here, and I'm going to show you how to pad that so this thing isn't rattling around when you ship it. So again, here's our box. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you put a kind of fluff layer of padding against the bottom of the box. Old newspaper, paper bags, newsprint, or whatever you have is going to work fine. You never want to ship anything valuable with just kind of the box itself as the base layer. This is kind of what the bottom looks like when I get started. I did put some bubble wrap in here. I didn't have enough of this brown paper bag to fill the entirety of the box. Anything will work, you guys. The paper I think is a little bit better, but this will work just fine, and I have a ton of extra stuff from this because I just moved. So that's why I'm using this instead of more paper. This actually fit pretty snug in here. I will usually move my VCR towards one side or the other side. I usually put the side that's more delicate with all the buttons and everything against this, and I have a small layer of padding that goes in here. In this, I will just use some more bubble wrap or newspaper to fill this up so it's nice and flush and this thing's not bouncing around in here, okay, you guys? You do not have to pack this stuff very tightly. You want to keep it relatively loose, one, so you're not wasting materials, and then two, so it's just a nice layer of padding and you're not adding too much extra weight to this. Because while you do want to be liberal with protecting your package in here, at the same time you don't want to add more shipping costs to yourself than you need, okay? So what this ends up looking like here so far is this. Looks pretty good. This isn't going anywhere. This is a really nice top layer. I do have thank you cards that I send with all of my shipments. I recommend that you get yourself some that either advertise your eBay store, your Instagram page, offer coupons, or all of the above. Any extra little bit of marketing you can do for yourself is going to make you look that much more professional and bring more business to your store. So there you go, you guys. My girlfriend and I on here. I have a little coupon that if someone shops my store again and they use this code, they can get a discount. So I include that with all of my shipments too. It also advertises my Instagram page, Thrift Nerd IGTV. So yeah, there you go. I'm gonna tape that right to the VCR. You know, it looks kind of nice. Nice thank you right there on top. Now I am going to add one more layer on top of everything, so it's not just the raw dog VCR. Now this is what I was saying earlier about the bigger bubbles. These are a nice size bubble here. I'm going to use this as the top layer. This would go a lot further than your typical roll of bubble wrap that I use. So if you can get your hands on some of this stuff, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's totally worth it. I'm just going to put this down here as an initial layer, and I'm going to tuck it kind of around the VCR and in all the corners and stuff, just so you know everything is as well protected as I can. So I do not want any returns. So there you go, you guys. Now again, this box is too large. Ideally, it would be a lot shorter to begin with and a little bit less room on this side where we kind of padded. But since this is all I had to work with, this is what we're going to do. So a little trick that I use literally all the time is you can take a knife and cut down these corners in all four and try to make it even. And then what you'll do is you'll take the same knife and you'll make a score along here. That way we can kind of customize our box to what we're shipping. So once I cut there, and I did a terrible job cutting, I am going to make just one straight cut all the way across to where I want it to fold inward on itself, like so. And if you kind of fold the box outward, you'll see that there's a nice crease there. And what we'll end up doing is we'll take this, and then after it's been creased, we're going to fold it down like so. Right? And we're going to customize it. We're going to do that for all four of these, so this sits nice and flat. So this is kind of what it's going to end up looking like. I'm going to tape it down so it looks a little bit nicer. But as you can see, we made a custom box for this. We are going to go ahead and tape it up. I'm going to tape some thing of tape all the way down here, all the way across here, and we're going to make it nice and flat so it's nice and durable when we send this to the post office. There you go, guys. This is taped. This is definitely not the greatest box that I've ever made, but it will do the trick. It'll get there safely, and it's all we had to work with, so we're gonna go with it. But you can see this is a nice secure edge. The edge here where the pieces overlap are nice and secure. This side too, you can see it's nice and secure, and even when I turn this thing upside down, nothing is moving around in the box. That's the most important thing. I will go over the bottom one more time here, so let me do that real quick. There you go, you guys. This looks really good. I'm really happy with this, and I feel like it's going to get there nice and safely, which is the most important thing. It's padded so well, and there's no movement inside of here, so even when we shake it around, you hear nothing is rattling. And that's what you want. So the last kind of steps you guys know are we're gonna weigh the box. Then when we go into eBay, we are going to plug our measurements in and see about what it'll cost to ship. So let's see what it weighs real quick. You guys aren't going to be able to see this with the light on the scale, so I'll just kind of walk you through it. When you weigh something large like this too, what you want to do, make sure your scale is in the middle of a nice even surface, and make sure when you put your box on it, it's centered on top of it, and it's also not like touching a wall or not on top of anything, so you get an accurate measurement. So this weighs 13 pounds and 4.5 ounces. So you guys always want to round up. So we're gonna say in eBay that this is 13 pounds, 5 ounces, okay? So this is pretty much done. This weighing 13 pounds, it's gonna cost me about $20 to $25 to ship where I need it to go. I will price out multiple shipping platforms, including Pirate Ship, but also UPS and eBay to make sure I get the best shipping method. So USPS probably will be the best for this, but I will check. And that's all there is to it, you guys. So this is gonna go out to our buyer. We're $10 to a $65 sale. I charge $24.95 shipping, which is gonna cover the cost of that. So we're looking at a $50+ profit on this. But yeah, we gotta take the time to make sure that we pack it up safely, that it gets to our buyer without being damaged, and that we have all the supplies in the first place before we list it. So hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. This is the first of these type of videos that I'm making. So if you like this video, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell so I can keep making you great content and you'll see when I'm dropping these new videos. Okay, you guys, Thrift Nerd signing out. Thank you.